Good morning, class. Let us pray first. Please sit and I will check your attendance. Say present if you hear your name. Looks like there is no absent today, so let us give each other 3 claps. 1, 2, 3. How was your weekend? Have you enjoyed bonding with your family?
Sir, yes, sir.
That's good to know. Thank you for sharing. Last meeting, our discussion was about facts and opinion. Can you differentiate facts and opinion? That's good to know.
Fact and opinion. So what do you think the difference between the two? When we say fact, that is true and can be proven. Whether you like it or not, you have to accept it because it is the truth. For example, there are 12 months in a year. This is a fact because this is true. There really are 12 months in 1 year, from January to December. Another example, the Philippines is an Asian country. This is again a fact because Philippines is a really part of Asia. Okay? Now, let's have opinion. It is what a person thinks or feels, meaning it may be true for self, but it's not true for others. It makes change depending on the person you talk to. For example, Monday is the best day of the week. This is an opinion. Not all people likes Mondays. A fact is a statement that is known or proven to be true. An opinion is a statement of belief or judgment about something. Congratulations! You did a great job learning about fact and opinion.
Today, you will learn to write a reaction about the character in the story read. You will also learn to predict outcomes of the event in the story. And you will learn to react to what the character said in the story listened to. Are you ready to learn?
Sir, yes, sir.
Do you have garden at home? What plants grow in your garden? That's good to know. Can you describe this picture? What do you call this animal? Correct. This is an ant. What are the characteristics of an ant? How about this one? Correct. This is the grasshopper. Do you know the characteristics of the grasshopper? That's good to know. Now, let's have some unlocking difficulties. Let us answer each number by choosing the synonyms of the underlined words. We say synonyms. These are words with the same meaning. Are you ready?
The grasshopper uses his strength or brawn in making his tomato garden. A. Ability. B. Weaknesses. C. Power. The answer is letter C. Power. He always visits his patch of tomatoes every day. A. Garden. B. Home. C. House. The answer is letter A. Garden. He waited for the seeds to sprout. A. Grow. B. Develop. C. Increase. The answer is letter A. Grow.
Congratulations, class, for a job well done. Now, you are ready to read the story. We know that ants are very industrious and hard-working animals, especially when it is about their food. But how about a grasshopper? Now, let us listen to the story about the tomatoes of Perez. And let us give possible outcomes in some situations.
The tomatoes of Peles. Peles was tired of his everyday walks and wondering even if he had nothing to eat. This is why he thought of exerting himself and using his strength and brawn. He passed by the farm of Hugo. The ant he has impressed by the health of the plants. Your plants are so healthy, he praised Lota. What is your secret? I have no secrets, Lota said, except for industry, patience, and little hard work. Is that all? Asked Peles, and he asked for some tomato seeds to try out gardening. It was Sunday then, but the new farmer did not laze around. He busied himself with planting. That night, Peles could not sleep as he counted growing tomatoes. Monday, early in the morning, he woke and visited his patch of tomatoes. But what a heartbreak! In the soft ground, not one seed had sprouted.
What do you think might happen to Peles and to his tomato seeds? Let us continue the story to see if you are correct.
Close to tears, Peles talked to Lota, but Lota only laughed and said, "Don't be impatient. Indeed, gardening is not easy. A little more watering and they will surely sprout." Tuesday, after watering, Peles looked after the patch of tomatoes all day. In the evening, he even lit candles so the plants would not be afraid of the dark. Wednesday, after sprinkling fertilizer, Peles invited his frog friends, and though it was raining, they sang all day so the plants would grow. Thursday, after pulling out weeds, Peles brought a lot of books, and he read stories and poems all day so the plants would not feel lonely. Friday, after watering and weeding, Peles spent all day reciting, dancing, and singing. He even placed a makeshift roof so the plants would not feel too hot. Saturday, Peles rejoiced when he saw sprouting tomatoes. After a few days, Peles' tomatoes grew and bore fruit. "Hey, your tomatoes are so healthy," Lota praised Peles upon her visit. "Yes, they are," answered Peles, who was wrapped in a blanket. "But I am sick and coughing." "That's only at the start," Lota said. And Peles was left coughing, but he felt pleased as he looked over his patch of ripening tomatoes. The tomatoes of Peles.
Did you understand the story?
Sir, yes, sir.
Very good. Now let us answer the question about the tomatoes of Peles. Are you ready?
Sir, yes, sir.
Who are the characters in the story? Correct. The characters of the story are Peles the grasshopper and Lota the ant. Now, what did Peles plant? Very good. He planted tomato seeds. Now, who gave him the seeds? You are again correct. Lota gave him the seeds. What did Peles feel when the seeds did not sprout? Yes, Peles felt sad and had teary eyes when his seeds did not sprout. What did Lota say about her secret for growing healthy tomatoes? Lota said that her secret in growing healthy tomatoes is being patient and always water the plants. Did Peles follow Lota's advice? Why? Very good. Peles follows Lota's advice because he was impressed of the healthy plants of Lota and he is determined to have his too. Why did Lota praise him? And what traits Lota did show? Correct, Lota praised him because his tomatoes were healthy and he never gave up in planting his tomatoes. What lesson did you learn from the story? Very good, children. If you like something, you must work for it and be patient. Beautiful things come to those who wait, persevere, and determine. Very good, children. Let's clap our hands for a job well done. Now, let's go back to the story about the tomatoes of Peles. Let's read some parts of the story. Guess what happens next?
It was Sunday then, but the new farmer did not laze around. He busied himself with planting. That night, Perez could not sleep as he counted growing tomatoes. Monday, early in the morning, he woke and visited his patch of tomatoes. But what a heartbreak! In the soft ground, not one seed had sprouted.
What do you think did happen to Peles after seeing not one seed had sprouted? Very good. Let's continue our reading.
Friday, after watering and weeding, Peles spent all day reciting, dancing, and singing. He even placed a makeshift roof so the plants would not feel too hot. Saturday, Peles rejoiced when he saw sprouting tomatoes. After a few days,
What do you think happened to the tomatoes? And what did Peles felt about? Very good. Let us continue read the story.
"Hey, your tomatoes are so healthy," Lota praised Peles upon her visit. "Yes, they are," answered Peles, who was wrapped in a blanket. "But I am sick and coughing." "That's only at the start," Lota said, and Peles was left coughing, but he felt pleased as he looked over his patch of ripening tomatoes.
After the conversation of Lota and Peles, what do you think will Peles do? Awesome, children! Now, what have you observed in our activity? Very good! We predict what might happen to situations. Congratulations, class, for a job well done. Now, remember, class,
Predicting is giving possible outcomes or events that could happen in the story based on the situations or ideas presented. It is important to listen or read the details carefully. Look for clues and use what you know to predict outcomes. It is also like giving an opinion, but in predicting we are talking of possible outcomes.
now, do you have the questions about the lesson today? Very good! I'm so glad that you understand our lesson today. Now, for your evaluation for today, prepare a sheet of paper and answer the following questions. I will give you 5 minutes to answer. Good luck!
In school, Joey is worried because the weather is not good. It is about to rain. He lives near the river bank. What do you think happened? A. The water overflowed from the river and their house is flooded. B. Nothing. It is Sunday. Alice and her family are going to the beach. Alice is so excited. It is her first time to go to the beach with her entire family. When everyone was finally ready, it began to rain hard. What do you think Alice and the family will do? A. Alice and her family were very happy because there will be so much water in the beach. B. Alice and her family will stay at their home and will watch the news if there is a typhoon coming. Lester and his friends went to the beach to swim despite the heavy rain. He went further and further into the water. Then, his friends heard him shouting for help. What do you think happened to Lester? A. Lester is very happy swimming in the beach and he is calling his friends to join him. B. Lester is drowning.
Most of you got the correct answer. Let's give each other a hooray clap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hooray!
Now, for your assignment,
Ted, Maya, and Ben were playing inside their house on Sunday morning. They laughed, shouted, and ran around their house. Ted bumped the center table. A loud clashing sound followed. The mother came in. Act out what happens next.
do you have questions regarding the lesson we discussed today?
None, sir.
If there are no questions, that's all for today. Goodbye class and keep safe.